Hello, everyone. So we're talking about the game today: Madrid versus Athletic Club. Really, there wasn't there was no weight to the outcome of the game. I mean, obviously, I would ideally want to win, but the grand scheme of things didn't really matter. I mean, actually, it does matter because now we ended. I think we ended the league with the 8 point gap with Barcelona. If we had lost and they had won, let me tell you right now, losing by what was it going to be? If it's 8.3, they had won, have been because it was at 11 before, so it would have been it would have been 14. Oh, would have been 14. But yeah, anyways, that was the only reason why I wanted us to not lose the game. Well, to win the game so that it wouldn't be a complete gap between the two of us, but that was just a brief parenthesis. Talking about the game, I want to first talk about got a little bit emotional, I can't lie. When I'm actually getting goosebumps. He he has done a lot for this team. And it means a lot more when this is an academy player. Because, people love Modric and Cruz and all those other people that have retired, in the last couple of years. But for players like Carvajal, it means something. It means more. It means more. Unfortunately, the past 2 seasons were not great. Not only was the team bad, but he was on the decline. The injuries, his age is catching up. So, but that cross he did, that assist to Gonzalo Garcia is something that I'm hoping Trent can do, and I think he's proven he can do it now. Personally, Carvajal at his best will always, at least from what Trent has shown, he will always be probably one of, if not the best right back for Madrid, at least for the past decade, 20 years or something. He's phenomenal. Because we're talking about a player who can defend and who can attack. He has the ability for both, which is remarkable. Not a lot of fullback can claim that. So I just wanted to pay my respect to Carvajal. He's going to be gone. And just like Cruz and Modric, his presence, the fact that he's going to be gone is definitely going to have an impact on the team. Not that he was playing a lot, but to be able to replace someone, because we're not only losing our right back, we're also losing a captain, a leader, someone who deeply, deeply cares about Madrid, who always was fighting. Whether you can agree and disagree with his behavior, he is someone who loved the club. So I wanted to start with him. And then Alaba, he did some great things for the club. Unfortunately, like many other players, injuries kind of ruined the back end of his career. But even today, whether it's Carvajal or Alaba, I mean, Carvajal, at some time you could see he was like that. He couldn't last the whole game, obviously, but his decision making was starting to fade a little bit. But even Alaba, some of like a ball playing defender like him. Now we have Hoysen, so it's good, and I think that's another thing. Like part of me is like, not all of our players get injured that much, so it's always seemed to be our backline. So it can't just be like the medical staff is bad. It's like, I don't know if it's probably a combination of the medical staff and the actual player. If they're just more injury prone, they're just unlucky. I mean, it sucks. But Alaba, another person, which is why people don't understand. Like, I mean, Modric was fucking. Modric is like abnormal in terms of just how the longevity and like this man was barely, at least from what he wasn't getting injured. Like he managed, he could run and all that. But anyways, Alaba was great for what he could bring at the time when we got him. At least I'm happy for both of them that we ended the season with a win. And they contributed. Because Alaba was solid in the back line. I don't think he made anything. And he was really good. You could see the long balls, the passes that he was trying to do, break lining or over the top. His passing ability would definitely be missed. Defensively, at the highest level, maybe cannot be relied upon, but his passing ability, his range, his vision definitely will be missed. But yeah, wanted to just talk about the people that are leaving. But yes, starting with the game, we opened the scoreline with that beautiful pass from Carvajal. Carvajal was great. He could have cost us one goal, but other than that, I think he was great. Asensio was actually solid. Now, Asensio is a tricky one. I don't think he's good enough to be a first team starter for Madrid. At least he hasn't shown that consistency and high level defense ability. He can be technical. He has a vision for some long balls, which is nice. Always appreciate a profile that can do more than one thing, and he's very pacey, which is great, which is something that obviously likes. So it would be good to have someone who can complement or cover his weakness, and the other one, complement. They complement each other. Essentially was good. I'm not opposed to selling him. I'd rather keep him, but I'm not opposed to selling him. I think it's going to be up to Mourinho. I don't think I have any strong feelings whether or not he leaves or not. Yeah, we talked about Alaba. Carreras, man. I think okay. I think what I mentioned in my last video, I don't know what Carreras did to Arbeloa, or if it's just a question of Carreras was personally brought by Xabi Alonso and he's not the profile that Arbeloa wants, or whatever happened. It's odd to me that someone like him, especially when you have Mbappe, which is not the same with Vini, we'll get to him later, but they can combine. He actually passes to Carreras and they do some plays together. And he obviously has a much, much better technical ability than Fran Garcia. Fran Garcia just has he has the spirit, he has the energy, the pace and all, but that's pretty much it. He can't cross, he can't dribble. I don't know. He just feels very limited for me, Fran Garcia. Carreras, second half has not been great. Second half of the season has not been great for him, but I want him to start the club. I want to see how Mourinho plays with him. I hope he's part of Mourinho's plan. We spent 50-something million on this guy last summer. He's very young, and it's first season. I want to wait until second season before making a more definitive judgment on him. Bellingham was fantastic, which is so annoying, really, with players like Bellingham and Valverde and Vini. It's like these players are fantastic players. Individually, they are probably one of that in the top 5 of that respective position, or what that profile is. And what they did to Xabi Alonso still hurts me, just because it ended up being detrimental to the season overall. Some people might say, there are other people that affected our overall chance of getting trophies, like notably Mbappe in the second half, but it's like, you can't ruin, you can't just poison the food in the beginning, and then it's the same food. The food is already poisoned, and somebody's just like, you've already eaten poison, and the person is trying to give you some vitamins or whatever to make your system, your immunity recover from the poison. But like you've already been poisoned. So I think that's essentially what happened. Not trying to defend any player. I mean, we should all be trying to win. But Valverde was quiet today. I, to be honest, I barely saw him. There was one action where he tried to run, and you can see like this is what pisses me off, because everybody who knows a little bit of football can tell that yes, we have our problem in our defense and problem in attack, but our midfield isn't great. And it might be great against certain opposition, but it's not well built for certain games. And we just have the same thing like with Mbappe and Vinicius. We have too many of the same profile in our midfield. Like realistically, we might keep both, but I think we should get rid of either Valverde or Tchouaméni. Now, individually, and it's from an individual standpoint, ability-wise, for me, Valverde is better than Tchouaméni. However, we don't have Tchouaméni's profile in our team to sub him. If we sell him, somebody's going to have... We need to buy somebody else because nobody else can do his job. Camavinga cannot do his job. Valverde cannot do his job. However, Valverde, as good as he is individually, I think we could potentially compensate for that, especially if we replace his profile with someone who can actually let this team lead and control. And we're talking like a highly experienced player. So that's that. Yeah, Pitach, can't lie. I changed my evaluation through the game because, for the most part, Pitach seems very raw, and I know people will understand what I mean. Like this man, you can. I haven't seen a lot of his technical ability. I mean, I have, but it's not to the same extent of wow, this guy's generation or whatnot. Like no. He definitely has not shown the same thing that maybe Endrick or Ada or somebody used to show when people were excited for them. And I will get to that, to the person who I'm the most disappointed with in a minute. So Pitach was good. With the assist, that ball to Bellingham honestly raised his overall performance in the game. Because up until then I was a bit disappointed. And I'm very surprised. I know people call Abelwa a coward and stuff throughout his tenure. I mean, the way he was just leaking up to some players. I mean, the stars, obviously, to Vini especially. But I think Pitach, and from what I'm understanding, I think Pitach and a lot of these young players from the academy, those are from Abelwa. I don't think the president or Madrid was on board with this or even happy with this. At least from what I don't understand, I don't think Perez was a big fan of this move, but hey, I'm happy he did that, and especially with the minute he gave with Gonzalo Garcia, which makes sense. We need that profile. I'll get to him too. We need to talk about Masantuno. Unlike Pitach, I have never felt a positive impact from Asante. People will say he runs, but I mean, he presses, but I mean, winger? If you're not a winger, I mean, he doesn't have the pace. He doesn't take on his man. He doesn't assist. He doesn't create stuff. He doesn't score. What does he do on the pitch? What are you here for? The caveat to that is, unlike Pitach, he comes from South America. It's his first season, and we all know how it happened with all of these South American kids. Same thing with Vini and other players. Madrid is not, and La Liga is a very technical league. I just don't see it. I just don't see the thing with him yet. Now, he definitely should not be a starter next season. We need to get an actual right wing, and I've talked about this many times. Please, Rodrigo cannot be counted upon anymore. We try with Rodrigo, it doesn't work. Um, so we need. We're not going to sell him. He's obviously very young. And maybe he can progress somewhere else. I mean, actually, I said right wing, but we're getting Hendrick, and Hendrick is pretty good as a right wing. I like him. I like Hendrick as a right wing. I don't think I was a big fan of him as a nine. Same thing with Mbappe. They just have, and to be fair, Hendrick is probably a better nine than Mbappe, but that profile just isn't exactly what you would want for a nine for this team, for this specific team with this specific group of players. Maybe when we change system and we change coach and we change players and all that, maybe, but right now I don't really see it. So maybe Matt Santuno can be a sub for Hendrick. If not, maybe we loan him. He goes on a loan somewhere to gain experience in the European football. Playing for Madrid is not easy. And then we're going to talk about Gonzalo Garcia. He was good, solid. Scored that good goal, very good positioning. Wasn't offside like someone else. Mbappe, bro, this man was offside like 4 or 5 times. Jesus Christ. I don't know if he's like he just like he is literally the king of offside. I feel like he's been the most offside out of any player this. And maybe I don't know, but I'm sure the statistic like that shows that this man is always offside. Now I guess something I need to mention is Athletic Club. And props to actually, I want to point out Iñaki Williams, very good. He created the 2 chances that they score just based on pure, playmaking ability. He can create a chance, and the first goal, defense was sleeping. Second goal, Hoyson mistimed the jump or whatever, but they score. I mean, I wouldn't say. The second goal is definitely more unfortunate than the first one. The first one was just poor defending. None of them were on their man, so he just had all the time. And when he took it well too, he took it first time direct. Courtois couldn't really do nothing, so I don't blame Courtois on that. Second one, maybe Courtois could have saved, but whatever. It's not the end of the world. I'm not. Oh yeah, I didn't talk about Courtois. Courtois didn't really have to shine this game. I think we were pretty solid, and I know people. To remind people that struggle to understand this, Madrid can do well against teams that try to play the game, which is why I think it reflects with this game. People that just sit back and you have like 10 players you have to go through. Yeah, we're not built for that. We just don't have the weapons, the facilities to counter that. It just doesn't work. Same thing like. For example, even Barcelona, if you try to actually attack them, that's when you win. Like if you just sit back. Well, actually, you know what? Let me just stop. I feel like I'm going to talk some nonsense right now. But Gonzalo Garcia was solid. Hold up play, link up play, nice. To be fair, outside of his goal, I didn't really see him, but he just did that 9. He did the 9 job. You don't have to see him. You just have to score goal and connect with your teammates, try to set them up. He had one. He gave one opportunity to a good chance, I think, to Bellingham. Bellingham took it first time. Not first time, but he didn't hesitate. I guess he didn't have time to really aim his shot because he went straight at the keeper. But I'm not gonna put the blame for it, especially now that we won the game. I mean, Mbappe lost a lot more. He messed up a lot more than Bellingham did. If he wasn't because of his goal, I think Mbappe would have been probably my most disappointing player. Not that he was worse than Masantuno, but because it's Mbappe, and you expect him to do better. Now, Mbappe scored good goal, but he should have scored earlier. His decision making was terrible in the final third, in the first half, honestly. And even the second half, actually, that last goal we scored with Brahim, Adagula and Brahim was excellent. And Adagula was genius, by the way, first time. But Yeah, he was frustrating me in the first half. He was very frustrating to watch in the first half. He was a left wing, no Vinny. I mean, so he did try to do like there was some shenanigans he tried to pull. I mean, he's a skilled player, but and it's so funny to me because I've watched Hurricane and you can see some of the thing that Mbappe does. He's trying to, I wouldn't say maybe copy Kane is maybe, yeah, he's trying to copy. But you can see that he understands that his physical attributes, like his speed and all that stuff, is going to go away. It's going to go away. He's going to lose that. Once he passes, 30, 32, whatever, whatever the age is, eventually it's going to go. It's going to go away. So he's trying to improve his actual technical ability, like his vision, his passing and all that, but he's just not great at it. He sucks. To be honest, he sucks. He's not. That's why that's why you're an attacker. You're not midfielder because your passing just sucks, man. Oh man, he tried to do a couple of flicks and tricks and whatnot. But he has the ability to walk on the left wing. That is like Vini and Gonzalo. And Mbappe and Gonzalo are way better than Mbappe and Gonzalo and Mbappe and Vini. It just doesn't work. Mbappe and Vini only works against highly offensive teams, like teams like Bayern or PSG or Barcelona or some team that actually going to attack and you can have space in behind. But against most teams, it just doesn't work. It doesn't work, and especially against defensive team like Arsenal or like Atletico or something, it just doesn't work. So it's important, I think, for like Mourinho. Chances are we're keeping both. I'm not opposed to keeping both. I think I understand the frustration with people, but I genuinely think, that as long as Mourinho has actual, not like he's not a tactician, but if we just have a system and players and profile in that midfield, and he gives proper instruction to Vini and Mbappe with a solid backline with Courtois in the net, I think we could see a different face of this team. Really, truly, I truly think so. Because I guess technically we've had Galacticos era, so people can say, yeah, sometimes it just doesn't work. We don't have the right. I mean, that's trying to say, but the squad building all the time. I mean, Mbappe's not going to leave. I hope Vini renews. I'm not a big fan of the antics he does on the field, but Vini is still like, top 5 left wing in the world. I think, for me. On his best day, he's probably in the top 3, if not top 2. So, are we going to go third season with them? Because they've shown they can work together. That's my thing. Like, people want to say that it doesn't work. Like, it doesn't work in a sense like they are not always finding each other and linking up the way they should be linking up. But there have been instances and moments where it's like you can see that in some specific scenarios, these people can work together. And if they could just get along, well, honestly, you don't even have to get along. Honestly, you don't have to get along because I don't think Ronaldo and Benzema and Bale were like the best friend ever. But once they got on field, they knew that you need to win. What's the most important thing is to win. As long as they can get on that same page that they need to work together to win a game, I don't care if you guys are enemies outside of the field. Just don't punch each other, okay? Like, we don't need that. But you don't need you may dislike each other off the pitch. I would prefer if you guys don't dislike each other, but I need you to get along on the pitch. That's really what really truly matters. I want everybody to get along on the pitch. We need to work together as a team, as a unity, and to win. But yeah, I mean, Mbappe did well on that last goal again. He could have screwed it up like he had, honestly, previously early in the game, but he did well. So yeah, we finished the season with a win. 8-point gap with Barcelona, terrible. We definitely shouldn't be in this position. The second trophy last season. Lots of changes. I'm excited, actually. Some people are very, disappointed, and rightfully so, as Madrid to go second season without winning any major trophies. But I'm excited for Mourinho. And I want people to remember that yes, the direction is not flawless. They've made a lot of bad calls, but Perez tried to address some of our problem last summer. Remember, we signed like 3 defenders. People want to rub it, like drag it, but we signed 3 defenders, and we signed a coach that, and I don't want also people to think that um Xabi Alonso was without his flaws. He made some bad mistakes too. We got trash with Xabi Alonso with that Atletico Madrid game and the PSG game. I mean, PSG was early, but still, we suffered some bad defeats with him too. You know, we lost the Super Copa with him. So I think most people are just angry about the fact that we sacked him like so prematurely, and because of the whole power, like player power struggle thing, where some players turn against him, and the fan base doesn't like that, which is fair. Abelwa, I mean, I never believed he was the guy. If I'm being honest, I never believed he was the guy. I never believed. Even when we were winning a couple of stretches of games, it just felt like the players were turning up or doing something. Because at the club like Madrid, you're not gonna have a tactician. You need one of those 2 things. You need aura, or you need to impose respect. Well, either way, you need to have you need to have the two. You need to have aura, and you need to impose the respect. And the players, all players need to respect you. It's not just the direction that's in. No, 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 no. You need to impose your will, and you need to show to the players that your way works. And I feel like Abelua kind of failed to do that. I am excited for Mourinho. Is he the old Mourinho? Well, I guess we'll find out, because people want to use his history, his past clubs to say that it's not a good choice. But I will be the judge of that. I'll be the judge of that. I will see what kind of Mourinho we get, and what kind of players, if the players decide to give a damn what they do. But quickly going over the sub, Adagule didn't play much. I mean, he barely played 20 minutes, had an assist. Wait, was that? No, I think that was Pitach, actually. I'm trying to. Yeah, he had 2 assists. Why am I? I'm trap-shooting. I don't know. Yeah, he had 2 assists, so Pitach was really good. I did not want to see Ceballos on that pitch, but I'm gonna be honest. I hope he leaves. I'm done. Keep Pitach as a sub like Ceballos is supposed to be, and sell Ceballos for like, I don't know how much it's worth, maybe 25, 30 million. Get rid of him. Get rid of him. I don't know if we can get like a good right back defensively, as ideally a more defensive right back. That would be great. Brahim Diaz, good entrance, whatnot. Hoyson was poor on that second goal, but whatever. He should be better. He's doing better, but it's not. I'm not gonna crucify him for that. And then there was this right back that came in. I barely saw him play. He came in for Carvajal. Can't even get his name. I mean, he was some long name, whatnot. Yeah, but it's interesting. It's interesting. I don't know what Mourinho plans to do. I don't know what the summer has in store for us, but I'm hoping in the next couple of months we'll find out who's staying, who's leaving, who we're bringing in, so that we can actually have an idea of what kind of squad we'll be having next season. But yeah, that'll be all. If you guys want to let me know in the comments what you thought, and if you're excited for Mourinho, I am. I mean, not sure it, but I am excited for Mourinho. I can't wait. Really can't wait. Because we need almost at this point, we need something like that's literally gonna whip them into discipline. I'm not joking. Some of these players are in the top 3 of their respective position, but they either don't care, they're not disciplined enough to listen to instruction, they're too egotistical, XYZ reason. But we have a squad that should be doing much better than it is right now. That is a fact. And I think that's part of the reason why people are so pissed off, because result-wise, this is not the worst Madrid ever to have existed. Nobody can tell me that. People only would say that is because of the squad that we have, we feel this way. there's been worse with Madrid squad in the past that have performed worse than this, but the expectation were completely different. And they weren't creating a mess and fighting each other and firing coach and all that stuff, right? So yeah, hopefully we come back next year stronger and we win titles. And Hala Madrid.